Yeah, good morning. Abuja is quite cool this morning. I think the cool breeze blowing in this morning.
Good morning,
Veronica. Good morning, Ibrahim. It's good to see you in another good and bright week.
That's after the Valentine weekend.
All right. You can take the conversation away now.
All right. Now, thanks for joining us on the show today. The House of Representatives says the claims of bribery by Binance official Tigran Gambaryan were targeted at discrediting Nigerian institutions. Mr. Gambaryan had alleged that some members of the House of Reps had asked for a $150 million bribe during the impasse between the crypto platform and the federal government, a claim that the Nigerian authorities have dismissed. But in a statement on Saturday, the spokesman of the House of Representatives, Akin Rotimi, said, quote, "These allegations, which have been previously circulated last year, are directed at individual members, not the institution itself. The House of Representatives urges the public to rely on verified facts and not be misled by recycled claims aimed at discrediting Nigerian institutions and public officials," end of quotes.
The House also described the allegation as hefty, thus requiring clarification. Mr. Gambaryan said the honorable member named have assured the House leadership that they never had any such dealings as reported. One of the members has already instituted legal action to clear his name, while others affected have been encouraged to do the same in pursuit of justice and the protection of their reputation. According to him, with the U.S. and Nigerian government's involvement in the matter, the issue has now evolved into a government-to-government engagement. And for better understanding of this allegation, we have joining us via Zoom a public affairs analyst, Jide Ojo. It's good to have you on the program, Mr. Ojo.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, TVC and Shomo.
All right, let's jump straight into it. Is it sufficient for the House of Representatives to simply dismiss these allegations against these members of bribery? Is it proper, or should a thorough and transparent investigation be warranted?
Well, I should say there should be thorough and investigation, but who will conduct the investigation? Is it the House of Reps itself or the security agencies? TVC and Shomo, let me tell you, this is high-wired politics. This is politics at the top, at the highest level of two countries. Let's backtrack to last year. Two officials of Binance were arrested in Nigeria. One of them escaped miraculously, saying that he wants to go and pray, and then he disappeared and flew out of Nigeria. How did that happen? But that is not even the most shocking aspect. Binance was fingered as being involved in tax evasion and money laundering in Nigeria. And Nigeria was seeking $10 billion penalty against Binance officials. So they invited the Binance officials from US, they came and they were arrested. And one of them escaped from NSA guest house. That's Nigeria Security Agencies, the Nigeria Security Advisors guest house where they were kept. And meanwhile, his passport allegedly is with the Nigerian authorities. So how did he fly out of Nigeria? But again, after that, Tigran, who is the official that was left, was kept in custody. Charges were filed against him in Nigerian court, and shockingly, U.S. government under former President Joe Biden, demanded the release of Tigran. Meanwhile, Tigran was a former security official in U.S. before he joined Binance. And if you read the text of what Honorable Akin released over the weekend, he said there were diplomatic shuttles between Nigeria and US over this matter, and that's why they don't want to investigate or whatever. But for Nigerian government to draw charges of tax evasion and money laundering, even when it has charged that same case to Nigerian court, smacks of high-wired intervention at the highest level in U.S. And it was because he was riding on the crest of the people he knew in the U.S. that made Tigran to be making all these wild allegations that the National Security Advisor demanded bribe from him, that the House of Reps member demanded bribe from him. And the Nigerian House of Reps have said he did not accuse the institution of Nigerian democracy. He said he alleged that some members demanded bribe from him. Now, one of the members who was fingered as having demanded bribe had gone to court to clear his name. And the institution, House of Reps, have said others who are fingered should also go to court. Meanwhile, if you go online, check the Zhao who established Binance was jailed for 4 months last year for money laundering in U.S. He pleaded guilty for money laundering in U.S. So they could jail Zhao, that is the founder of Binance, but in Nigeria they could not jail him because of high-wired politics at the highest level in U.S. This is double standard. The bottom line is that the more you look, the less you see.
Okay.
How did that official that escaped from NSA guest house, how did he escape?
All right,
Who
Mr. Ojo.
facilitated his escape? Why were the charges dropped against Tigran in Nigerian court?
All right, Mr. Ojo. Well stated, high-wired politics at the highest level. Now, this is just coming in on the heels of the new rating by Transparency International. Earlier, my colleague asked that, shouldn't there be a thorough investigation, whether by the House of Reps, whether by independent institutions, because a lot of things are involved. And if the institution is being accused, or principal members of the institutions in Nigeria are being accused, we need to get to the bottom of it so that we don't get rubbished. Don't you think so?
That's why I'm saying the Nigerian government first charged Tigran to court. But surprisingly, pressure was mounted on Nigerian government to withdraw the case against him. And so, if you ask the Nigerian police to investigate the allegation, will Tigran submitted himself to come and give witness, come and give account of his allegation in Nigeria? This is somebody who obviously, has the backing of the. So I think it's just going to be sheer waste of time. He will not come because he had already fingered the Nigerian security advisor, national security advisor, as also demanding bribe from him. So, and we know the Nigerian security architecture. So the possibility is that whoever is asked to investigate this case, this Binance official, Tigran, may not likely come to testify. So, of what purpose is any investigation you want to do?
Mr. Ojo, we'll come back to you.
If the court had been allowed to...
Or a public affairs analyst, G.D. Ojo, and we're discussing the allegations against House of Representative members by Binance of demanding bribery. Now, Mr. Ojo, if you could just finish your thoughts before we went on the break, before I move to my next question.
So what I'm saying is that it is the court that should have been allowed to investigate this thoroughly and, and pass a judgment one way or the other. Don't forget that way back in 2023, Tigran Gambia Binance was said to have, been involved in some cryptocurrency deals in Nigeria, which undermined which was responsible for the devaluation of the Nigerian currency up to $26 billion. And that's why the federal government was pushing for $10 billion penalty. Now, this is economic crime that they were alleged to have committed, undermining the currency of Nigeria because of their cryptocurrency deal. So the point is, what we should be more interested in, why was he released after 8 months? Why was Tigran Gambaryan released after 8 months without the due process of the court fully exhausted? Now, whoever, if it's House of Reps that set up a investigative committee, one of the members who are fingered had already gone to court. So the case is already sub judice, as they say in law. It's sub judice because a court of competent jurisdiction is already looking into it. So I don't see why we are pushing that the House of Reps should still said a committee should look into it. Because whichever way, even if the House of Reps says the members were not guilty, they will say it's expedite the court. If they say they are guilty, it will be like, oh, you are throwing your members under the bus. So whichever way, let whoever has been fingered, has been involved in this bribery scam, let them sue the Tigran Gambaryan for the malicious damage against their reputation. Otherwise, I think it's an issue that should be left to be resolved by the
Ojo, we saw the level of foreign interference and the pressure made on the Nigerian government to drop the charges against Binance. But does this suggest that indeed Binance may have been acting the script of superior foreign power?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm... First, how did the other guy who was arrested with Gambaryan, how did he manage to escape? Then, when Tigran was facing criminal allegation in Nigerian court, he was alleged to be in a very poor state of health. Even at that, there are medical facilities in Nigeria that could have been made that he could use to attend to himself. But surprisingly, the Nigerian government dropped charges. Don't forget, we were pressing for $10 billion penalty for their undermining the Nigerian currency. But the top echelon of the American government mounted pressure on Nigerian government to drop those charges and facilitate the return of Tigran Gambaryan back to U.S. Now, from comfort of his U.S. home and office, he's now making allegations that they demanded. Well, it is not even surprising. Even if somebody demanded for bribe, did you give the bribe? In U.S., have we not seen similar instances? Case of Jefferson, who allegedly demanded, got bribed. The Enron case, the Enron officials. These are commonplace, and it's a global phenomenon that politicians may, I'm not saying in this instance that the members who are fingered actually demanded. They may demand, but if you fail to give, you have to now prove that, okay, the allegations against you were maliciously made. That's why they should have allowed the court processes to be exhausted. Because now, it will seem like because some people demanded for bribe from him, that he actually did, or Binance did not actually commit the crime. But I just told you, go online, you see that the founder of Binance, Zhao, was accused by U.S. authority of money laundering allegations, and he was jailed for 4 months last year. That is the founder of Binance. So what is the U.S. interest that made them to pressure Nigerian government to drop these charges against Tigran Gambaryan?
Yes, we get your point, and we'll come back to you shortly. We have joining us in the studio Senator Shehu Sani, and he is a human rights activist. It's good to have you on the program, Senator.
Thank you for having me.
So we're still discussing these allegations against House of Representative members. Just recently, Nigeria made a marginal improvement in the Corruption Perception Index, a report released by Transparency International. But with the whole Binance controversy, does it show that there are deeper issues and public officials may be dragging the country back with regards to the Corruption Perception Index?
Thank you for having me in your program. Well, first of all, it's a known fact by both Nigerians and the friends and foes of Nigeria that the way the finances of the country was managed from 2015 to 2023 was dismal, was unfortunate. And time and again, there were proofs of how particularly the Central Bank of Nigeria mismanaged the economy, mismanaged our finances, mismanaged the treasury of this country. Now, the allegations that came where Binance was fingered is a direct result of all those investigations. And for a country like ours, for us to be able to investigate what happened to our treasury and our economy and come out with such result also shows the seriousness to which we take the issue of probity, accountability, and issues of corruption in our country. Now, anti-corruption reports have always come out every year. And sometimes we improve, and there are times to which we drop. And this time around is a testimony to the effort that has been made comparatively to where we come from. And the truth of the matter is that the people who were involved in this, particularly the ones in discussion, the Binance, these were not investors who brought in industry. These are not people who are here to invest in agriculture or manufacturing or mining. These are traders. These are parasites. These are commission agents. These are middlemen for which they see a gold mine in our financial system. And the issues that are being raised, especially by the person in question, Gambarian, it's not something that he revealed or exposed when it was happening. There were events. He was arrested, he was charged, and then Nigeria bowed down to the U.S. pressure, because I can't remember from independence to date where Nigerian government was able to secure the release of any Nigerian in U.S. prison as a result of intervention by a government. Each time there are such requests, they will say that they don't interfere with their judicial system. But here we are, we caught out that, and then it happened. And since he came out, he now started raising allegations, not just against the members of House of Reps, but against some key government functionaries. Now, if that has actually happened, why did he waited for him to be indicted and then magnanimously freed for all this revelation? The only evidence Nigerian has is what he said. And can we take to credence such allegations by someone who already has his own problem? So I think these are the issues we have read. It is very easy for you to allege, but you need to provide proof for Nigerians. But we live in a world of impression. People, first of all, take the first report as the reality, and then any other thing is a defense. So I think we have to be very careful. This is a company, or this is a firm that came to Nigeria parasitically to feast on our own financial system. And then we are able to detect such things here. And then now, we are trying to make such persons a hero for coming here, not to open a factory in Kano, Kaduna, or Katsina, or Lagos, or to invest in agriculture, but to do what they call their financial system. So I think we have to, our country first, and you can't just come. If you know that there is such demand for bribe, immediately it was made. You will have made it public and report to the necessary authority. You don't just go back out of the country and start spitting all those things here against persons who you will have had the opportunity to do that when you are there. So I think this is my own view on that.
Now, the troubling aspect also is that it's now his words versus those individuals, and in between he's mentioning names of key figures in Nigeria, like you rightly stated. Now, the case is out of court because of the high-wired politics. Should that just be the end? Because we have the integrity of the country to protect, because we withdrew from the courts. Now he's coming with this series of allegations. So how will you suggest that the country should handle this? Because we still have our institutions' name trying to be rubbished by this same character.
Well, the first and foremost is what brought out this. What instigated this issue? The point is that our own treasury, our own central bank, which is the umbilical or the vertebrae of our economy, was pilfered, was sort of robbed by some certain elements that call themselves financial businessmen. And you can imagine the volume of money that is under question here. These are funds that could have gone to education, to health, to infrastructure for a nation of 220 million people. They can't do that in any country and get away with it for the fact that any foreign nation has intervened to secure the release of anyone. But we agreed to that. And then after agreeing, this is what is coming up. So the next thing is that the federal government must initiate or continue the process of going everywhere, every length to go and recover what belongs to us. Look at what has been happening to Nigeria in the last 1 decade. Businessmen will come to this country, sit down with government officials, write a memorandum of understanding, sign documents, and in those documents, if you look at the clauses of those agreements, there are elements of anticipation of fraud. And they take advantage of our own carelessness. And then after 6 months, 1 year, they go to court in London or Paris and secure judgment against our finances or against our assets abroad. This has happened in London, it has happened in Paris, it has happened in the United States. So now when it comes to our turn, we are simply forgiven. This should not be for a country that takes seriously its economy, its finances. Every kobo, every cent, every dollar we have here, we have to struggle to earn it. And we have use for it. So we shouldn't be like that. They are merciless when it comes to us. And we should be very prudent and go to every length to recover our money.
Well, people are wondering why the House of Representatives got involved in a matter that it does not have a capacity to unravel. Doesn't this undermine, the authority of institutions like the EFCC, NFIU, and other institutions who are, this is their core mandate?
Well, the National Assembly is enabled by the Constitution to investigate issues that are raised, whether they are financial or whatever. The Senate and the House of Reps can constitute a committee to investigate issues, but they are not anti-corruption agencies, and they are also not courts. But the outcome of their investigation can be referred to the relevant institutions. So to prosecute, it can go to DSS, it can go to police, it can go to EFCC. So the House of Reps can go to court to sue someone for such things. So it is within their right. But when one of their own members is alleged, so I think it will be in the interest of the institution, even if they clear their name, they also refer to the necessary agency to do their work. Yes.
All right. Mr. Ojo, are you still here with us? I want to ask you a quick question before we let you go.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let's talk about the impact on the business field. The allegation has also raised concerns about business environment in Nigeria. If these allegations are true, could this also discourage foreign investment and damage Nigeria's reputation as a place to do business?
Well, yes and no. see, everywhere in the world, there are smear campaigns against politicians and people in high offices. The point is, this cryptocurrency business, how has it impacted on our economy? We know quite a number of our youth who are unemployed are involved in currency trading, online forex trading, and all of that. And they seem to have found some ways of making some income from this cryptocurrency trading. But I'm not sure, even many Nigerians, including myself, do not understand how this cryptocurrency business and forex works. But for the Gen Zs and very youthful people who are able to trade, maybe.
All right.
So that is about like the distinguished Senator Shehu Sani said.
Yeah.
These people did not come to Nigeria to set up industry, factory, or do legit business, but were involved in economic sabotage. Because when the country loses $26 billion in 1 year,
we have to go, Mr. Ojo. Thank you so much for your thoughts. We have to go. We've run out of time. I would have loved to hear that, but we've run out of time. Thank you so much for your thoughts with us on the program, Mr. Jide Ojo, and also Shehu Sani, Senator Shehu Sani. Thank you so much for your time with us on the program. Well, that's it from us in Abuja. It's back to you in Lagos, Veronica and Ibrahim.
All right, thank you to Jesu as well as Eshomomo for that interesting interview